welcome to another episode of Extra Hot the Grill. I'm joined by another gospel artist to find out about their journey in music, in their faith with God, and it's super exciting. I've got Joe. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yay! Okay, so tell us about yourself. Tell us about your name, the genre of music that you create, and how long you've been making music for.
Yeah, so Jeaux Mayo, the spelling of Joe is J-E-A-U-X, which is a French derivation of it. I don't even know if I said that word right, but French style of it. So my family, my mom's side of the family is from Louisiana, which Louisiana got a lot of, has a really heavy French influence. And a lot of the people in Louisiana come from a French background. So my family is Louisiana Creole, which is Louisiana French Creole, which is a mix of African, native, French, Spanish, just a whole, it's a Creole.
Wow.
So that spelling is just a homage to that, just a homage to culture. So when I was little, I used to have I was having a really hard identity crisis who I was as an African American. So I was growing up around a lot of Hispanics, Mexicans, Salvadorians, Guatemalans, and I was really insecure about my blackness. So that Jeaux Mayo is kind of a homage to who I am.
Oh, I love that. That's really powerful.
Yeah, it's just because I used to, people would ask me, are you Dominican or are you South American or something like that? And I felt like I didn't have anything to give them, And looking at that and having that as my name really, really gave that sense of identity to me. How I got on music, to the genre of music is I don't consider myself as a Christian rapper, though I don't mind being called a Christian rapper. Yeah. But my market isn't a Christian market. So I'm regular in hip hop. So when somebody hear about my music, they obviously gonna hear who I am and whose I am, who I belong to, that's naturally gonna flow out. But in regard to the genre of my music is gospel music. I don't consider it Christian rap because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to that term. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Christian rap, but Christian rap is a market within itself, and that's not a market that I'm aiming towards. So I got probably being that market. My focus is the streets. My focus is the people where I come from and the layman's, if you will. I like to fashion myself like a model C.S. Louis for hip hop, as in, like, I don't, I'm not the biggest theologian, or I'm not the biggest church figure, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm like, when C.S. Lewis wrote Mere Christianity, his whole gist was, this is an amateur. I'm talking to the regular people, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's where my music comes from. And I think I started when I was, I started writing when I was like 13 or 14, but I actually made my first song at 17, which was 11 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And I like that, you're able to distinguish where you fit into the industry very clearly. And I think that's a really good thing there. Who and what has inspired you in your musical journey? Is there any specific artists that have kind of, spurred you on, or that you've been intrigued by as you've gone on your journey with music?
So I grew up really thick into, right when Reach Records was really popping, like 07, 08. Yeah. So even though my initial interaction with hip hop was Cash Money Millionaires, Lil Wayne, Tupac, but my first actually involvement with hip hop was Reach Records. So it was Triple, it was McCrae. Those were the people that was inspiring me to I wouldn't even say rap, but who started me with a real experience in hip-hop. So my biggest influences, to be honest, I'm not even gonna try to like, I don't really know. It's just kind of floating with kind of equally among everybody that I listen to. I think that the culture is one of my biggest influences because I wanna engage so bad, you know, that I feel like that's not a good answer, but
no, listen, you're answering great. Just answer honestly, it's fine. No, that's really good. Now, during lockdown, it was obviously the world was thrown into this time where everything went online. How was that for you, being a creative and creating music? How was the pandemic for you in lockdown?
To be honest, it really didn't affect me at all because I never went on lockdown. I work in the field, so our work is considered essential. I work in construction. So we were still outside, you know, we was everywhere. Besides that, it was a lot of online like mess going on about the lockdown, but it really didn't. The only thing I can say was during that season is when I made my project, God Will Increase. So where I did get affected during that season, though it was unrelated to COVID, during that season, the whole just behind God Will Increase was taking everything I have, though it may not be the best, or it may not be the prettiest, or it may not be the strongest. I'm gonna take what I have and I'm gonna throw it out there, and then I'm gonna see what God do with it, instead of spending all my time with it hidden, you know what I mean? And scared stuff outside.
That's really powerful. And what triggered that kind of project for you? What was it that kind of initiated that for you personally?
I got a really dope opportunity to make music. So I've tried several times to just leave it alone. You know, I don't care about it. I'm done with it. I'm gonna just be X, Y, or Z. But because I have responsibilities in a family, you know, I have 2 children, a wife, got a household to lead. So when music has measured to that, it's been like, leave it alone. You know, obviously I can't afford to do it. So I guess it's just not for me. But then an opportunity came about where I could afford to do it. And I saw when I could afford to do it that it wasn't just that I couldn't afford, but it was also that I was also very hesitant, and I had a lot of good ideas, but very poor execution.
Got you. And so did you find that during that time there was people around you that helped, and that actually there was like God just kind of brought a team around you, or did you find that you did by yourself?
That's a really good question, because I'm an apprentice electrician, and so the electrician I was working with at the time was a believer, and he's actually on God Will Increase, called the interlude that says Matt phone call. I would just be like, I externally process things. So when I'm thinking about something, I'm talking about it and it seemed like I'm all over the place, but I'm processing how I feel about this and looking at it from different angles. And he really was placed in my life at that time to really help me work through that, because my question was, you know, do I want to work at this job for the rest of my life? You know, or do I just want to quit right now and just go start rapping? Or do I want to do, you know what I mean? I didn't really know what to do. So he helped me a lot in that time to just like, hey man, like you don't have to have an answer necessarily. You searching too hard for an answer. He gave me his advice of, you know, why don't you just do X, Y, or Z? But he offered a voice of reason at that time. And then I had a couple friends here in Houston who really, just on the musical side of things, told me like, man, you should make this song like this. Or they're really, even before that when I had the music, I showed it to them, who really kind of believed that vision of like, hey man, like you can do this. Like you need to put this out, you know, instead of just sitting on it and showing people that know me, you know. So
absolutely.
They really encouraged me to get out of my head, you know, to stop being such a little hermit crab, go out.
And sometimes you need that. You just need people to come around to like encourage you and boost you and say, do it, get it out there, like share it. Because actually that's where the impact can be made actually as well. With your music, would you say that there's like a key message that you want your listeners to grasp from your music? So you said earlier about, you know, you don't really make music for Christians per se, but actually just for regular people, but what's your key message for those people, would you say, through your music?
The key thing I want people to take from my music is to listen to my mind and how it processes the things around me. Because my music is it's almost like a soliloquy. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like there are certain people who can talk and talk about, you know, a story. This dude did that. This dude, you know, Bob met Keisha, and then Keisha took Bob over here. Like, but my music is like my song, like that that like energy. It's like, it is all energy. I'm with the symphony. It's whatever I'm on at that time. So I know that I have an essence about me that pulls people in and it makes me believable to people. So when I rap, where I found my voice was, man, just talk about just everything that's in here. Talk about what you see, you know, and then people are just naturally gonna wanna hear what I'm saying. You know, the way my mind operates. I think that's what I want people to capture. Like, look at the world through my eyes, and then from my eyes, you'll see what I see.
Yeah. And there's something so sincere and there's a thing of integrity with that you're being so vulnerable with people, with how you process, and that's coming through in your music. So that's really powerful actually, how you're using that to to shape your music in that way as well. How important is it for you is it important to you that your music does carry a deeper message for people? Like, and how important would that be for you, would you say?
If my music, it's important to the degree of it. If my music has nothing to say around it, I consider it trash. You get what I'm saying? Because every aspect of life there's a certain perspective on it. You know, there's a time for comedy. There's a time for sadness. There's a time for joy. There's a time for anger. So I think there can be a misunderstanding of what a deep message is. As in, like, you know, some people, I used to hear like a deep message, like, man, I gotta take them through the deepest theology and philosophies of life. But the earth, not the earth, but the universe is so large, but atoms are so small. You get what I'm saying? So some things may be everything. So, okay. Everything, there are some things that there are some times where you have to go that deep.
Yeah.
But then there are some times where you have to look down, and there's sometimes you have to look around. So if there's no true weight to what I'm saying, no matter how I'm saying it, no matter the way I'm saying it, if there's no true weight to it, I consider it trash. But I just consider it words with no definition. You know, like you get nervous and you just start talking. You're not saying nothing. You know, so that's what I consider. So yes, to say it does matter, and I think that it matters a lot. You know.
Yeah. Now tell us about your music at the moment. What's the latest in the Jeaux world? What's the latest that people can be seeing of your stuff, and where can they be finding your music?
So I just released my latest single yesterday called Dancing. It is I think one of the first songs of that kind that I made that is it's very celebratory. It's very joyful, and it's not just joyful but strong at the same time, because And the song is a celebration of, man, I wake up, I thank God for who I am, because I know where I could have been. I was in so much bondage. So now I feel like David on these tracks. When I rap, I feel like David because I'm dancing. So dancing, that definition is I'm doing what I want. You know, I'm so familiar with it. I'm so comfortable with it that I can dance. I'm not just trying to walk straight, you know.
Yeah. It's like you're not just surviving, you're actually thriving.
Exactly. I'm thriving on this track. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. So, but if you tap in and tune now, you can catch me on Spotify. You can catch me on iTunes. You can catch me on even SoundCloud, YouTube, anywhere where streaming is available. If you just type in Joe, the French way, Mayo, you'll find me. And then for the next, this next season, it's really just gonna be a lot of music being put out.
That's exciting. Well, I look forward to hearing it, and hopefully we'll get some more of your tracks on our show as well to review. It'll be amazing. So thank you so much for taking time out to speak with me and to share just your passion for music and what you're creating and your journey with that. It's been really enlightening to hear from you. So thanks for joining me, Joe, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Visit us for updates and shows at affinityxtra.co.uk.